Last night, the Toronto Raptors' 5-game winning streak was snapped at the hands of the Cleveland Cavaliers in a game where the Cavs only led for 4.8 seconds total. So in today's video, we try to answer the question, just how did the Raptors actually manage to lose this game? Let's get into it. Welcome NBA and Raptors fans. This is Amateur Hour Sports, your source for everything Raptors related. We do Raptors news, game recaps, mock trade breakdowns, and so much more. So if you like the Toronto Raptors and you enjoy content in this video style, well then you're gonna love Amateur Hour Sports. So make sure you are subscribed, help us on our road to 8,000 subscribers, and in return, you get 4+ videos a week, all concerning the Toronto Raptors. But let's get down to business for today's video, talking about the Raptors game versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. And yes, the Cavaliers only lead this game for less than 5 seconds, but still somehow managed to win this game. And we fall so close because the Raptors had 2 shots at the buzzer, just rim out, and we end up falling. We start the season 6-4, which is pretty good, but the Raptors in this one, you know, Cleveland did their thing down the stretch. We made some mistakes. A lot of calls did not go their way, but we are going to get more into the refs later in the video. But, I mean, the Raptors dominated this game. We were all over the Cleveland Cavaliers in basically every statistical category other than free throw attempts. But again, more on that later. So this game comes down to so many little things that just don't go the way of the Raptors. It was the battle of the top 2 rookies in the NBA, Evan Mobley and Scotty Barnes, and both players had great performances. Mobley definitely shined a little bit brighter, but I mean, it's just one game, not that big of a deal. We'll see what goes on for the rest of the season. But it was a hugely entertaining game, especially for the neutral, but very frustrating and very stressful for Raptors fans like myself because, again, everything seemed to go against us. The Raptors, maybe late in the game, kind of fall apart with their half-court offense. They score with about 1:48 left in the game and then don't score again for the rest of the game. But, you know, credit to the Cavs, but the refs as well kind of had an influence on this game. So I decided to make a list of every little thing that went wrong for the Raptors late on in this game, whether it be just a little bounce or a call that doesn't go their way. There were so many little things, again, that just influenced this result. The Raptors play this game again 9 more times. They win at least 8 of those times because they were so much better than the Cavs in this game. All right, so here's my list of every little thing that went wrong for the Raptors here. Out of their control in a lot of situations, but sometimes in their control. But here it is. So 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Inbound to Jarrett Allen. Prayer 3. Banks in. Jarrett Allen's 7th career 3-pointer. Then we move on to Fred has a 3-pointer change into a 2-pointer. The Raptors go into a commercial break up by 1 and come out of it tied. Now, admittedly, that was the right call, but a huge morale blow, especially for Raptors fans watching the game. Then Scotty pulls an offensive board away from Jarrett Allen, and it was called a jump ball. I think that play was debatable. The one where Scotty Barnes ripped the ball away from Jarrett Allen, definitely debatable. But another 50-50 situation goes the way of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Then there's a long rebound on our defensive end. It seems like Gary Trent is going to pull it down, but somehow Ricky Rubio dives to save it to give the Cavs another possession. Then C.D. Osman misses a wide open layup. Jarrett Allen gets the offensive rebound and inexplicably falls out of bounds. It is initially deemed a Raptors ball because he went out of bounds, but was changed to a foul on Jarrett Allen. Nobody touched Jarrett Allen. Nick Nurse decides not to use his coach's challenge. On the ensuing play, the Cavs get a bucket, and I wonder again why there was no coach's challenge late in the game. And then with the Raptors up 1 in the final possession of the game, Gary Trent almost nabs a steal. It kind of trickles out of bounds. It looks like on the replay it could have gone off Evan Mobley's foot. No challenge from Nick Nurse. Cavs keep the ball. The ensuing inbound, Colin Sexton dribbles towards the rim. Double dribbles, but the refs call a jump ball even though there was almost no contact on the ball in the play, which is good because they didn't call the foul. But if they called the travel, then the game would have been pretty much over at that point. Ensuing jump ball, Gary Trent tips the jump ball away. It ends in the hands of Osman, who gives it to Garland, who goes to the rim and gets fouled. Nick Nurse finally uses his coach's challenge. Doesn't work. I mean, it was never going to get overturned. Garland hits both free throws. But we're not done. 4.8 seconds left. The first time the Cavs have led at all during the game. A good play drawn up by Nick Nurse. I'm usually pretty critical of Nick Nurse's timeout plays at the end of the game, but this was fine. OG gets himself a look very close to the rim, rims out, and Scotty Barnes just can't tuck in the rebound on his first try. I can't believe the Raptors actually lost this game. They played fine, and it just doesn't go their way. So many of those little things don't go their way, and I'm just so sick of watching those last second shots inexplicably just rim out. I mean, last season, the Tampa season, I suffered through too much. There was the back-to-back games where Siakam's game winner or game tire just rims out against the Trailblazers and Golden State Warriors, taking through some bad memories here. Then there was Siakam's missed layup against the Minnesota Timberwolves at the end of the game. And then there was Siakam's prayer three-pointer that rolls around and just chucks out on the rim against the Utah Jazz. Oh my God. Like, why do we never get these late game bounces to go our way? It's so frustrating to see this. I know that later in the season, we're going to have one big moment where it just falls for us, and I'm going to be ecstatic, and I'm going to remind you guys of the situation we're in right now. But I'm smiling because, again, so many things went right for the Raptors in this game. We played fine, and it just doesn't go our way. The basketball gods simply said no in this game for so many different reasons. Like, so many little things just don't quite go our way. But I mean, props to the Cavs. They did their thing. The officiating, I got a problem with the officiating for sure in this one. I get the Raptors made mistakes down the stretch. I absolutely get that. And the Raptors went almost 2 minutes to end the game without getting a basket. But the officiating, the Cleveland Cavaliers had 19 free throws. We only had 9. We did not have a free throw in the fourth quarter. In the last 2 games, OG Anunoby has taken 41 field goal attempts. He has not taken a single free throw attempt. Do you understand how often OG is getting to the rim as well? I'll raise you one even further. In the last 5 games, OG Anunoby has taken 100 field goal attempts and only 7 free throw attempts. Oh my goodness. The Raptors are not getting their calls. OG Anunoby is putting up 20 points per game without any sort of protection whatsoever from the officiating as he's getting to the rim. And even OG is starting to discuss this, saying, I'm going to the rim, I'm drawing a lot of contact, but I'm not getting the calls. Hopefully that changes. OG in his naturally reserved self. But this game, so frustrating how it all came down to that. And the Raptors, the half-court offense, I asked during the game, against the Wizards, we had the answer. In those late game situations, those kind of one-possession games, do we have the player to make the big shot? It was Fred VanVleet in that game against the Wizards, but in this one against the Cavs last night, we just didn't quite have that guy. And I know I sound harsh, I know I sound critical, and I know this video's everywhere because I'm just so frustrated, even the night after. Usually, when I make the amateur sports videos, I've had the full night to sleep on it, and I wake up, I feel refreshed, can talk about the game. But this one stings to a different degree for all the reasons that I have listed. And, usually the post-game show right after the game, we do it on Twitch to upload to amateur clips. That is my emotionally driven self. But usually the day after, when these videos come out, is when I'm a lot more calm. But I can't be calm after watching the way we ended up losing this game. But all in all, I try to be optimistic. I try to look on the bright side. And the bright side is there was a lot of things to look at on the bright side. First of all, we played well. And we played that game again. We definitely beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. Respect to the Cavs. They're a good team, and they now have the same record as the Toronto Raptors. So got to give props where props is due. The Raptors have started this season 6-4. Last season, we started 2-8. So that's a huge improvement. And if you offered me at the start of the season a 6-4 record to start the season, I would have been over the moon with that and absolutely would have taken it. This Raptor team is talented. Other teams are taking notice. Even more good news. Siakam is even further ahead of schedule than what was deemed ahead of schedule. He may even be back Sunday versus the Nets. If not, Wednesday. If not, the absolute latest would be the following weekend on Saturday. So Siakam's going to be back soon, and this team is 6-4 without Pascal Siakam. There was going to be a brighter future for this team. It was just one of those games. The basketball gods just said no. Sometimes in sports, you do everything right, especially in these team sports. Sometimes you just do everything right, and it just doesn't quite happen for you at the end of the game. Other sports like, soccer or hockey, you pepper the other team, you dominate them. But if you just don't get the baskets, you don't get the calls, it just doesn't quite happen for you. So the Raptors end up falling in this one. Hey, 5 games in a row before this one. We were 1-3 and now we're 6-4. I'm absolutely not going to be too upset about that. So this team, lots of talent, still some question marks about our ability to create in those late game half court situations. I think that a lot of those answers are going to come when Pascal Siakam returns. I mean, so far this season, this is the situation I've been worried about, these late games where in Tampa, we just always were not able to turn losses into wins late on in the game. We weren't just able to push ourselves over the line as often enough. The 2019-2020 season, the reason we were so good is because even these close games, we just knew how to play in these late game situations because Kyle Lowry was so smart. He knew how to isolate the mismatches. And I mean, the bounces just weren't falling. So this season, the close finishes, there's the Indiana Pacers game away where we win by 97 to a 94 margin. That was great how we finished down the stretch. There was a close game against Orlando, but like Orlando finished on an 11-0 run where we win 110-109. So that was bad. And there's this one tonight. But not enough to ring the alarm bells. I think the Raptors, their half-court offense is significantly improving. We just got to be able to get it in late-game situations, but it's a very young team, and a very young team who showed a little bit of their fragility yesterday, but all of that is going to correct itself over the course of the season. I'm not worried. You shouldn't be worried. I'm just stressed. I'm just pissed because the manner of this loss is very annoying, and it was definitely preventable, but Sunday against the Brooklyn Nets, a real test for this young team. Let's see how they show out. Let's bounce back. I'm optimistic. I'm happy. I vented. I got it all out. Let's get it on Sunday. Guys, right now I am running a Toronto Raptor ticket raffle. So right now, using the link in the description, the first one in the description, you can go to the Amateur Sports ticket raffle where you can buy a raffle ticket to possibly get yourself to the Raptors game as they face the Thunder on December 8th at Scotiabank Arena. The minimum donation to get yourself involved in this is $5, but you can obviously do more to get more raffle tickets. You get 2 tickets to that game, and half of the proceeds from this go to the MLSE Foundation charity. Half of the proceeds go towards supporting amateur sports, helping me get better equipment to make better content for you, the viewer. So 2 great things that you support, plus you could find yourself at a Toronto Raptors game. Again, as low as $5 to buy it using the link in the description, or you can text AHS Raptors to 855-202-2100 to get yourself the link. Support me, support charity, get yourself involved. But thanks so much for watching, guys. Please leave a like if you did enjoy, and also subscribe to the channel for 4+ Toronto Raptors videos a week, and I will see you again next time for another video.